Hey everybody, we're back on the Can Am, and if you remember, just probably a few months ago, I did a video about this. So my Can Am, the switch hasn't worked for probably 2 or 3 years. We're gonna take the switch apart because I'm cheap. All right everybody, so the high beam switch is located on this Can Am Commander right here. But I kind of want to keep, I want to keep the lights and the OEM look to it. All right, let's go try this in the machine. Well, the plot really thickens with this switch, so what was going to be a really simple video is now ending up to be some kind of electronics show. So what I did, I made the mistake. I was the one that fried the LEDs. So today I'm going to try and repair this little guy right here with some LEDs that I bought, and I think I got the whole concept down properly, so let's get started. All right, so here's the little package that I bought. It has a bunch of little tiny things inside of it, and here's the LEDs that we're going to spill all over the place. Here's some of the LEDs that we're going to be replacing inside, and if you remember, this switch here had the LED. So we're going to take the switch apart. I'm going to see if I can solder these, or one of those back inside of this switch, and then if you remember, we had all these little springs inside of there. I don't quite remember how it goes back together, but let's take this thing back apart and hope for the best. There's the two LEDs. I burnt both of them, of course. And there's the rocker. There's the little roller contacts that I had cleaned inside to make it work. And there's our LEDs that we're going to try and get out of there. I'm not quite sure how we're going to be able to do that, but we'll see. So they are orange in color. I don't have any orange ones. So let's see here what... So that's a white LED. So we might use a white. All right, so I think that's the one we're going to use. We're going to use two yellows right here. Those seem to be about the approximate same color. Now there's a positive side and a negative side to these. The longer one is the positive side, so we're going to make sure that we get that right in here. And I don't know, it looks like it's glued in there. Let's try and get that apart. Well, I got one out finally. Now, it took me a couple of minutes busting my brain trying to figure out how to get this out of there. So I did notice that inside here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's two little tiny legs, one on each side, holding the LED in. So all I did simply was I just put this down, and I just put some pressure on the LED downwards like so from the other side. And then while applying some pressure, I just released those little tiny clips. Just pushed one to one side. Push the other one over the other side. And then I was able to just, like so, just push it out the other side, and voila! There we go. So there it is. And see how it's functionally bent there? So we're going to straighten this out, see if I can figure out which side is the anode and which side is the cathode. And stay tuned. Well, one thing I can say about getting that little LED in there is it's kind of difficult to bend it in, but I did get it. Now, like I said, there is a positive side and a negative side to these LEDs. So I'm going to do the other side there now and struggle with that for 20 minutes. Okay, so we've got both new LEDs seated in there. Okay, now that we got that back together, I got these little tiny... I keep calling them diodes, but they're not diodes, they're resistors. All right, so now that we have those LEDs inserted into here, we're going to go ahead and insert our resistors into this section and that section, because those are the two power sides, are the corners. So I'm going to stick one in there. So, and I'm going to put the other one over here. Now the short springs are going to go on this side, like that. And like that, and the long springs are going to go here and here. And what that's going to do is going to make contact with the top of these metal pieces there and there, and hopefully that's going to work. we're going to get this back together. Let me put my little slide back in. Little power thingamabobber. That was painful. All right, let's try that. Let's get this back together here. All right, that's in place, and then I can stick this back inside there like so. Now hopefully without losing anything, let's see if we can get this back together. Okay, switch is back together. LEDs are replaced. Will it work? Let's go find out. As you can see, I marked my connector up the arrow because I always screw these up. So it should go up like this. So let's plug that back in. All right, moment of truth. It's orange. I have orange. Oh, but the high beams still work. All right, so we don't have a bottom light, so I did something wrong there. Let's go back to the bench, take it apart quickly and see. I don't know about the orange. It's kind of yucky actually, but oh well. All right, so we're back now. We know the high beam light, the high beam one worked, the low beam one did not. Let's see what's going on by just popping this apart again. Could be a number of things. Maybe my springs are not touching properly. Springs are there. Let's see. No, it looks like everything is okay. Which one was not working? The bottom one. So maybe this one's just not seated correctly. Yeah, this looks like it should all be okay. Maybe I'm just going to reposition this one right here a little bit. Well, I've taken it apart, put it back together a couple of times, and I don't know what I'm missing. I only have the one light that's coming on, and I know it works because I can test it with my LED tester here. And now I'm looking at these legs. Maybe I just don't have power on these legs. These should be power here, should be power here, and this would be high beams. So I'm just going to do an ohms test on these little pins. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know what these pins do. So this one here should be in contact with this one, which it is. And we should have either ground or power on this side, which we do. And on the opposite side, we have nothing there. We should have, yeah, good there. And then the same with this one. Should be good there as well, which we are. Now, I notice there's corrosion on this one here. I don't know if I can clean this up, but I'm going to check for power in the side-by-side on that one that's not lighting and see if I have 12 volts on that side. Okay, I think I see the error of my ways. Yeah. So I think I have one of the LEDs in upside down. This here, this one should be my ground side, which I'm currently using as power. All right, don't know what I was thinking because like I mentioned, the LED has a positive and negative side. So obviously I have the LED upside down, and this one, now that I reverse the contacts, I think my power is correct. So I'm gonna have to remove the LED from this side, flip it around, and try again. So that's the whole fun part about all this, is just experimenting in your own garage, having fun, not being scared to try stuff, right? I mean, you're probably asking yourself, why don't you just buy a switch there, cheap guy? It's, you know, switches are $40. Well, why? I can fix it. I can do this. I know I can. All right, we got it back together. I got that LED flipped around in the proper position now, I'm sure. So let's go give this a shot. All right, back into side by side, and again, up, and I marked my switch, so let's just, all right, I'm just gonna stand back in case there's sparks. Oh, and look at that, we have our LEDs back. And let's check our switch, make sure it still works, and we still have high beams. And now we have our backlit switch again, but I'm not sure about the color. So seeing as how that was fairly simple, I might change the color of the LEDs. We're going to see. All right, now simply because I'm picky and I'm not really fussy about the orange color, I've got a whiteboard red marker, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try one of two things. I'm going to try coloring the top of the LEDs right here. Give it more of a red color. And I'll do the other side. Yeah, no, that didn't work at all. So, on the other option we have now is pop this back open. Let's pop that rocker back off. And what I can do is I can try and color the inside of this white thing here. It's pretty rough, but let's see what this does. I think maybe a red nail polish might work a little better, because this just wipes off. Or a permanent marker. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. I need a permanent marker because, yeah, no. Maybe some nail polish. So there you go, guys. Can Am switch repaired. Not fussy about the color, the LED color. I thought maybe this was tinted, but I guess it wasn't. So saved myself $40 Canadian. Spent 5 hours. You take both videos together. It was a really good little learning experience. These are pretty ingenious how they work with those little resistors inside and the springs, but saved myself some money. And now I got to get the side-by-side ready for hunting season, because that's only, a month and a half, 2 months away. Thanks again for watching. If you like this Can Am stuff, drop me a little comment down below, like the video, subscribe if this was helpful at all, and we'll see you guys next time.